ever noticed that the smartest person in the room isn't always the one asking the questions? Sometimes they're the one creating space for someone else to lead. One of the biggest roles I played as a CFO wasn't building financial models. It was asking the questions my CEO was too strategic to ask. Whenever he invited me into a second meeting with an investor, distributor, or potential business partner, we would spend 20 or 30 minutes beforehand reviewing everything that had happened during the first meeting. He would explain what had happened, what had already been agreed upon, and where the discussion was heading. As he spoke, I listened very carefully. Every now and then, he would say something like, "I think this is how their business model works," or "I'm not completely sure, but I believe this is what they meant." The moment I heard the words, "I think," I knew there was a gap. Not because he wasn't capable, because even CEOs are human. Sometimes they don't want to interrupt the conversation. Sometimes they don't want to look uninformed. Sometimes they worry that asking a basic question might weaken their position. That's where I came in. During the meeting, I would smile and say, "I'm sorry, this is actually my first time joining this discussion. Perhaps you already explained this earlier and I simply missed it. Would you mind helping me understand one thing? When you mentioned this clause, what exactly does that mean in practice?" Sometimes I would ask another question, then another. Honestly, I was probably a little annoying, but that was okay. Sometimes my CEO would smile and say, "That's a great question, Joy. Let's keep moving and I'll fill you in after the meeting." Other times, he would turn back to them and say, "Actually, would you mind explaining that briefly?" Without anyone realizing it, he stayed completely in control. I wasn't competing with him. I was giving him options. After the meeting, he would often tell me, "I'm glad you asked that." Not because the question was brilliant, because it was the question he wanted answered too. That experience taught me something. Sometimes leadership means asking the question everyone else is too embarrassed to ask. Sometimes it means being willing to look a little annoying. Because I would rather ask 10 silly questions today than discover $1 million mistakes after the contract has already been signed. The best executives don't pretend to know everything. They create an environment where the right questions are asked before assumptions turn into expensive decisions. Tomorrow, I'll tell you why I intentionally kept my CEO out of the first negotiation meeting.